Okay. A very good afternoon to all of you, dear members on the dais, parents, faculty of Soundarya Group of Institutions, and all the students. Congratulations to all of you. Graduation is always a great day. It is the crossing of a threshold of which Ms. Atishi has already spoken about. I know many of you are already tired. You've had the time, you've spent the morning with rehearsals, deciding what to wear, how to sit, where to sit, when to sit, and so on and so forth. And if I were in your place, I would also be tired and wondering, when will they stop talking? So I'm just going to do a very short speech, and I'm going to say two things. One, I think I want to start off by saying that congratulations. You have a great future ahead. And I also want to apologize to the youth who sit in front of me because of what you possibly inherit today. We've not only been a developing, emerging country for the last 75 years, I think the world that our generation has left for you is not necessarily a very nice world. To start off with, we have an unsustainable growth. We have left the earth in really precarious situation. Air, water, garbage are some of the biggest problems that the entire world faces. And in fact, we have very few answers because our economists, our policymakers, our teachers, our industrialists have all gotten completely used to the idea that only growth will end in development. And I think that is something that we need to question and we need to think about. So that's one thing we apologize for, because it's us who have thought that if you keep taking away from the earth unsustainably, we will just still be surviving. And that's not true. The second thing that I think I want to apologize for is that you inherit a world and a time when we are so technologically connected to everybody, and yet we are humanly disconnected from even the person sitting next to us. I can send a mail, I can send a friend request to anybody in the world, I can friend and unfriend anyone in the world, but it's very difficult for me to turn and say hello or even have a human connection with the person sitting next to me. That's also a world that you are inheriting. It's very exciting, but if you really think of it, it's also very scary. The third thing that you're inheriting, which I think is of concern for all of us, is with the Industry 4.0, where machines will talk to machines. The reality is the 85 lakh job roles that existed are no longer going to exist in the next 5 to 7 years. So your future of what you will be doing, what you have studied, and what you might be expected to do is fairly uncertain. I'm not saying sorry for development, but all I'm trying to say is there is a concern. And of course, as an educationist, I don't think I want to leave you with gloom and doom, but I think there is optimism. There is hope. And the hope is that for years together, I think we have said necessity is the mother of invention. Right now, it is necessary for each one of you to think of, how do I save my planet? How do I save the environment around me? How do I ensure that what I use is not more than what I give back to the earth? The reality is there is no planet B, and I think all the youth sitting here, including us, have to continuously think of what are ways to save the planet. And I think that because there are a lot of BCAs and BBAs in the group, I think it is important for managers, production, service to start thinking of rethinking of the growth model. The whole idea of, can I grow senselessly to actually grow forever? The second thing is, I think, irrespective, the second thing I said was we live in a humanly disconnected world. The reality is, no matter whether machines talk to each other or not, whether there is development or not, only humans have the hardware to be able to feel and think together. Only humans have the hardware. The amoeba doesn't have it, the rat doesn't have it, the dog doesn't have it, the machines don't have it, but humans have the capability to feel and to think together. And I think that is something, if we work on, there is a possibility for us to both use our feeling and thinking at the same time. The favorite way I say it is, can I continuously have my heart and my head having coffee together, not one by one? So I think I'm saying that as much as you go further, as much as you go and fulfill all the dreams that you have, can you also think of, could you have done this all alone? Can you continue to do this all alone? Do you need other human beings? And if you need other human beings, then you definitely need to be able to connect to them, to in fact, like the circus, along with the heat and the grime, and not like the circus when it is shown on a TV screen, where you don't see the dirt and the grime, you don't feel the heat, you don't feel the sweat, but you only see the act going on. In reality, there's a lot going on, and I think we have to be part of that going on at this point of time. And what to do about the fact that the Future of Work report show that so many jobs are going to be redundant. I think we just need to recognize what we can do, which no machine can do, and then learn that skill and get better at it, and then create value for us. And the last thing I would say is that I would also like to say that we are also in very difficult times, because this is, we've fought wars to be able to know that at the end of the day, we are different, we are valuable when we are different, and diversity and opinions of others which don't match with mine are not always threatening. But unfortunately, the world we are living in today, irrespective of which country we speak about, including ours, both fascism and diversity is on the rise, or homogeneity is on the rise. And I think as graduates, as young people who possibly do want choice, who do want to not conform to everything that is being told to you, please learn to operate from the and function rather than the or function. It is not this or this, it is this and this. Can I embrace both rather than just what is mine or what I believe to be right? There's always another way to look at something. The last thing I would say is, I'm a social psychologist. Many years ago, at a convocation, a social psychologist did a study. So he went up to the MC of the event and he said, please do everything, but as the procession walks in and the students stand up, and when the dignitaries sit, please don't announce sit down, which is always on the convocation sheet. And his expectation was that these are all graduates, they're PhD students, they're master's students. They would recognize that the MC has forgotten to speak, please sit down, and they would take agency and they would sit down. Yeah? And you will not believe it. This is true, there are recordings of it. 1.5 hours later, the social psychologist had to go up on the stage, apologize, and ask everybody to sit down. All these graduates looked at each other. They wondered, why aren't we sitting down? but not one of them took the agency to actually sit down. That is how we operate. And all I'm saying is, as you go ahead in life, can you choose what you want to do? Can you not always conform to what the next person is doing? Can you be independent? And can you do the best for yourself and the people around you? Thank you. All power to you.